So what if I told you an effortlessly smooth and powerful swing like Jake Knapp here isn't only achievable, it's easy when you do these two key moves that we're going to analyze and watch Jake Knapp do in this video. And I'm going to show you a drill to train each of these two movements that you need in your swing. And then at the end, the ultimate smooth swing drill to blend this into the golf swing and transfer it into the golf ball. So the first thing we need to have that easy, smooth, but powerful golf swing is ultimately two things that blend together for one, and that is width and turn in the backswing. So this is where Jake Knapp shows this incredibly well. So if you watch here, as he's taking that club back, look at how wide away from him that club head is. It is hugely wide away, so much so it's off the shot of the camera here. That club head is super, super wide, but as he's doing that, he is turning and coiling up that body. So this is something with guys who are really rushed and have no distance. They take the club back with absolutely no width. Instead of the club head being off the camera, most guys would have the club head probably roughly around there, just absolutely nothing. You'll see them have a little bend in the left arm quite often at the top of their swing too. But something we never see amateur golfers do is have a big full turn. Now, Jake Knapp has a lot of turn, more than really most golfers can get, but you don't need Jake Knapp's level of backswing rotation to achieve the smooth swing. So that's where you can see him with that long swing, but that's created via how much he turns. But you can see, of course, he's created a ton of back rotation, so thoracic spine really having a really mobile big turn. But look at his lower body as well, is really coiled up, really had a great turn from there. You can see where the belt buckle region would be. It's pointing, of course, in front of him, but then at the top of the swing, where's that belt buckle pointing? It's pointing away at the gallery behind him. So if you can get that club moving wider, that's going to build up that momentum as we swing. A wider arc is a faster golf swing. And of course, if we're going to get that bigger turn, bigger coil up, that is more energy that we'll be able to produce with less effort as we're swinging down. If you want to make a smoother, powerful downswing easy, you have got to have a big, nice, wide turn. As big and as wide as you can possibly have. That's what you need to do to create the first thing for a nice, effortless, smooth, powerful distance. Now I'm going to show you a really good drill just in a second to be able to get this width and turn in a really simple way. But just so this is really cool, watch this. So this is how his swing arc is being traced here. And you can see how wide that backswing is. And for the point that we're going to talk about after this drill is how he moves in transition to get this club then to drop, to get closer, to create that lag and move in a powerful way to where you can still create that nice, smooth, effortless power. Again, look at how wide that is. That is a huge takeaway from this video. You need to do that whilst getting all that huge coil up. You are going to create more speed without looking like you're even swinging at it from doing this. Now, to get that width and turn into your swing, this is the best way to train it. So grab a looped resistance band, just like you're seeing here. Put it underneath your left foot, so lead foot for a right-handed golfer, and then ball it up and grip it on the grip. And then what we do, we want to feel as we're coming back, like that band is stretching, it's getting more taut. Look at that. Look at the stretch on the band. What is that training us? That's training us to get wider, pushing the arms more away. But this is where we need to turn as well, because if we just push the hands away to get wider and to try and get up to the top of the swing with this resistance band, we're really only going to get to about here. That's where we need more turn to create more tension and to get that club up to the top. As you can see there, it really gives us that nice big turn and really wide club. So it really exaggerates it, but it's a great way to blend both of these together. So like I said, I like to pair both of these together when we're training into the swing because they both complement each other very nicely. That good width creates that bigger, wider arc. That helps create that bigger momentum going through the shot, and that bigger turn, of course, coils up that power, enables us to unleash more speed in that downswing, but doing it effortlessly. This is how we create that effortless power. So do this drill if you need to chain this into your golf swing. Okay, so our second point here is how you move in transition. So leaving the arms where they are, moving the pressure down into your lead side. And watch what happens to Jake Knapp as he does that. And this is such a powerful move. So he's created that turn, created that width. If we put our attention onto the right of the screen here, look at how he's going to move his pressure into this right side. Pressure's going to be moving down into that right leg, loading into that ground. But as he's doing that, he's leaving his arms and upper body where it is whilst this motion happens. Now that will then put a force on the club, dropping the club down. So if a lot of you golfers out there struggle to create lag, if you leave your arms where they are with your upper body in that same space, and then you get that pressure moving into your lower body whilst it unwinds and separates. So you can see here, not only does the pressure go down, it also swivels in those hips as well. The lead side works back down into the left side and lead hip working back there. Do that whilst those arms are left alone, you're going to get a ton of lag. That width is then going to drop, and that is going to pick up a ton of speed. Now, when you get into that left side earlier, like Jake does here, really in that transition, boom, getting into that left side and unloading. As soon as you start to move then into your later portion of the downswing, you can use that pressure you've just put into the ground and explode it out with a great amount of vertical force, which whips the club going through the golf ball at the right time. You can't create that whip and speed going through impact there without loading into that ground, that pressure going forward as you're unwinding first. Again, if you do that with being passive and patient at the top, the club will naturally drop down on its own. And you're going to see here, what else does it do? If you take your attention to the left side of the screen, it's going to shallow out that club, keep the club on plane. Because again, what are we doing? We're getting that pressure going down into the lead side. Lower body is swiveling. I'm going to show you drills to be able to do this. And those arms and upper body being left alone. They're responding to what's happening. And that's getting us into our positions that we're seeing there. Clubs lovely on path. So not only does this help with your power, it helps with your direction as well. So as I said, I've got some great drills to do for this, and I've got something that you can do, that all of you can do to some extent, that gets everything we've talked about here into your swing naturally, especially in this first style of the downswing. So let's get straight to it. Let's get these moves into your golf swing. Okay, so here's our drill to train that leaving the arms up, get the pressure left, separating the lower body in transition. Then straight after this, we're going to get into a drill that blends all these together in a really simple way, which you can straight away transfer into a golf ball. So if you need to train any of these specific different parts, like the turn, the width, or here the transition, these are great ones to do. And you could do them all at home as well without hitting a ball. So what you can see here, I'm getting up to the top of a backswing position there and pinning my left arm back with my right arm. So what that's doing, that is stopping my upper body from really doing anything. It's stopping my arms from overacting and stopping my chest from turning early. And the good thing as well, it's actually stretching this left arm a little bit more and creating that abduction of the left arm, which is, again, very helpful for speed. Topic for another video. So what we can see there, what am I doing? Straight away, just like that Jake Knapp movement, I'm getting my weight going into that left side straight away. Pressure's going left. It's going down in this direction. But at the same time, I'm doing this. I'm swiveling and turning the hip. So that's what a lot of golfers get wrong when they're trying to separate the hips in transition. They just spin the hips with no lateral component, with no pressure loading left. As you can see, I just draw a line here on the side of my hip. You can see how there's a significant left movement. There's not so much with the trail side. The trail side does move, of course, along with that, but it's not overly doing it on its own. It is that lead side. It is getting that pressure left, and I'm unwinding that lower body, and my, of course, constraint I've made here with my left arm, with my right arm, pinning it back, it's creating that ideal sequencing. So pressure is getting into that left side, and I'm getting that lower body unwinding. Let's look here from the other angle. So you can see I'm still trying to get that left hip moving back, but I'm making sure that pressure is loading into that lead side, pushing that pressure down into the ground, so then we can spike it back up naturally, going through that golf ball. Speed that club up and have it happen effortlessly. If you don't have this in your golf swing, you're going to look very quick, and it can, of course, there could be some negative implications to your dispersion as well. So Good stuff. If you need to train this into golf swing, this is how you'd go about doing it. Let's get into right now how you can blend this all together with a type of practice method, which is with a heavy or resistance type of club. We'll get into it and you can get these moves into your swing naturally and apply it into the golf ball straight away. So let's do that. Now, to train this all together, this is the way to go. And this will really make it seem super easy. So all you need is either two clubs that you're gripping together, a heavy club, so it could be an overspeed training device, or something like this, which is the JChownGolf Shore Speed, which is a club with a flag on the end, so it's gaining resistance. So if I just run through this full time, you're going to see a really nice smooth swing. Feels fast, but it's doing it smooth. So when you're doing something with a nice heavy club or something that gains resistance, you're going to be generating the speed at the right time, which is right here at impact. So why is a heavier club or a resistance type of club going to be really useful here? Because as we're coming back, we can feel nice and wide, an easier sensation from the heavier club or more resistance, like with the flag club here. We'll still need to feel our turn. We've got our drills to do for this. So if you're a golfer who needs to get that little bit more, let's say, mobility as you turn, just like myself, you can lift up that left heel like the players back in the day. Let that lead knee come in a little bit to gain yourself a bigger hip rotation, which will gain you a bigger chest rotation. Now watch this. As we slow it down in transition, I'm going to get my pressure left. I'm going to unwind the lower body, leave the arms where they are, which happens instinctively with this. You'll do it naturally. Because of that heavier club, your arms will be, and upper body will be a lot less active in transition, and it will let and give you time for that lower body to unwind. And look how much closer that club gets to my right shoulder. Not trying to do that. That is exactly the same thing as we saw with Jake Knapp. Just a heavier club or a club of resistance, which this resistance will pick up as we start to move down the downswing with my specific club here. And that's going to leave the arms and the chest alone whilst that lower body unwinds. Now, you would all do a better job than me here getting the pressure left earlier. It's a very hard thing for me to do with my cerebral palsy, which affects my left side. So that is definitely, if I can do this, you guys can do it too. So we want to get that pressure left, let that lower body unwind, which will happen with this longer, more heavier club. Well, it's not necessarily longer. Some overspeed training devices might be longer, but that heavier club, something with more resistance, will help this happen naturally. So feel nice and wide, get that good big turn. Again, that turn, big turn, might be subjectively different from player to player, but a resistance style club will help you get that transitional movement just like that. And then you'll have a much easier time creating that nice, smooth, effortless power, and you'll hit it much straighter as well. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button. If you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button and hit that bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.